Welcome to our YouTube channel, where we document our life aboard a 32-foot sailboat currently on its maiden voyage from Halifax, Nova Scotia to the Caribbean. In this episode, we sail from Gloucester through the Cape Cod Canal and end out Mattapoisett. So if you're into sailing videos or life on the water, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for the support.
We left Gloucester a half hour ago. I hailed the harbor master on the radio, or I tried. He came by yesterday to our boat, and because you can't fill up your water in Gloucester, because I guess there's a bunch of sediment in the water, they don't really let people do it. He came by with 4 liters of water for us and 4 big cans of soup, which is super kind. Very friendly people here. Tom is an older gentleman. Him and his wife Judy, they took us in for 2 nights, fed us, they gave us showers. Well, they didn't shower. They let us use their showers. They let us do our laundry there. He is full of sailing knowledge, so he's really helped us out. He helped us plan our trip. So generous and so nice, so we really appreciate that. We'll keep in contact with them as we go. I haven't told him we left yet. He's apparently sailing today too. And so we're going to Scituate today, which is only 25 nautical miles. We've got pretty good wind today. There is an advisory on that says gusts up to 25 knots and 2 to 4 foot seas, which isn't that bad. We installed our auto helm yesterday, so we've been using that. It seems to be working pretty good. Seth's still standing behind the helm.
Well, now I'm sitting.
He's kind of keeping watch for lobster traps still, because there's still a bunch. That was close.
I saw it, but I lost sight of it as it passed closer to it.
It's a lobster trap. Okay, so it died down to 12 knots. True wind was 8, so we took out a reef. And then as soon as we took out the reef, wind 19, and we were getting weather helm pretty bad even with the auto helm. So we put the reef back in, and then the wind died again, of course. That's just a bit of gust. Slow and steady. Keep it safe. Today is kind of testing us a bit more, I think, like skill-wise. Seth went below, and I'm keeping watch. What's nice is the boat is steering itself, so if you have your sails pretty balanced, then your auto helm doesn't have to work as hard. I was kind of scared the other day. I mean, it was like 3 degrees on the boat, but it was so cold, and yeah, the battery wouldn't start for the first 2 tries. We got a little nervous, and that was with full charge, so maybe we should turn off the fridge. Prioritize the auto helm. Seth just asked if it was nice up here. I said, yeah, I want to come up. He said, Man, boats, like, they make so many squeaks and so much sound, so many little feelings and everything. It's like most of those things, they never have to be checked because they're nothing. But you're always wondering what they are, so you wake up just to make sure that they're nothing. There's a ship over there. Ardmore Cherokee is their name, and we're kind of on course. They're coming this way. Go up a bit. They're going this way, and we're coming this way, and we're about, it looks like we would hit. Anyways, I just hailed them on the radio for the first time. Seth didn't get a video of it, but I said Ardmore Cherokee, blah blah blah. Bubs, they said don't, Bubs. Yes. They said don't worry, and that they will keep a watch for us and go around us. It worked! I said thank you. It's just, you know, so intimidating using the VHS thing, but kind of just staring at them like, ugh. Hopefully we're fine, but we'll be alright. I'm very proud of myself.
Okay. By that swimmer.
Yeah, tell the story.
Well, we just heard over the radio, Coast Guard set out a kind of like a lookout advisory that a 76-year-old man had fallen in the water.
All vessels in the area request to keep a sharp lookout and if possible, and report all sites to United States Coast Guard break.
Somewhere closer to Boston, so we're well past where he should be. And haven't heard anything since, so hopefully they find him.
The previously reported overdue swimmer in the vicinity of West Beach and Beverly was a false alert. Canceled.
There's a dead deer floating in the water. We are about an hour out of Scituate. The wind has picked up to 18 knots.
There's nothing wrong with that. Trippy, yeah, we all lose track. I wouldn't mind it if I find it. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't have to be an acrobat. I wouldn't mind it. Should I find it?
Although we were happy to see a surf break outside the channel entrance, our anchorage was far from ideal. The mooring field was so large we had to anchor close to the channel. And we had an unfortunate run-in with the lobster pot buoy all night, banging against our hull. We noticed in the morning it left some nice marks on the paint. And this is what it sounded like.
Could even tie to the dinghy.
What?
That's more work. Tying it to the dinghy. If only I had known to bring it up on the boat at 11. Would have been 5 hours of sleep I could have had. I tried to put you on. Sony headphones, noise canceling. That didn't work because it vibrates so too. And I had like Andrew Huberman's podcast with Rick Rubin going on in my ear. And my headphones died. Well, I learned something that if we do go into a lobster pot, we can just haul it up on deck. I feel like we're really leaning over with this wind. Is that because it's tied to a lobster trap? We get up at 5 a.m. to head for the canal tomorrow. That's lock tide so we can get through with the tide in our favor, the current.
After a terrible night's sleep, we are leaving Scituate. There was lobster trap close to us all night, ramming into the hull. It was so loud. So I had a 2-hour sleep. Anyway, we're leaving now. It's quite windy. But yeah, we're gonna make it to the canal today, and the winds are supposed to die down later. And we're just gonna try to sail with the jib. It's sketchy in here.
That is.
As we left the protection of the anchorage, we experienced some pretty strong winds and swell. Fortunately, all of it going in the same direction we were, but it meant that leaving the channel, we were taking it all on our beam. The boat rocked violently, and nothing in the cockpit would stay in its place. We felt a bit panicked to start the day off this way. Holy, the wind is wild. Like 25 knot winds right now, which is the most we've ever been in. Yeah, I wasn't calling for this. Smashed glass flew out of the cabinet. We sailed downwind under jib alone once we managed to unfurl it, which proved to be a bit of a challenge because it was hard to balance. We experienced the biggest swell to date, and Seth decided to take the helm as he cursed at the waves. Lobster pots were still everywhere, and this time even harder to see as the swell submerged them underwater between periods. I don't know how people handle this kind of weather, but there was some really big waves that just came through, and it took the dinghy up and launched it at the stern, and we reached 10 knots, and they kind of like breaking on our back. Like, they're pretty sizable waves. This is not what it forecasted. It said a meter, and the winds weren't supposed to be this high, but maybe it's the wind direction. There's more fetch or something. Anyways, we're both over this, and we just want it to be calm. The canal will be a good change. How do you feel?
Feeling pretty good. Kind of cold, but I'm glad the sea state has calmed down a little bit.
Oh my god, so much.
We're able to throw on our autopilot, which is nice.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get into the canal.
How did you feel earlier?
Nervous.
You were swearing at the waves and...
Yeah, I was mostly just pissed off.
That's funny, because I think that my approach is like, I don't know, when it's going out of control, I don't get mad, I get nervous. And then when I get a handle on it, I get happy because I'm in control.
For the first little bit, we definitely were not in control. For most of this voyage, we really weren't in control.
Yeah, we didn't feel it, but yeah.
It wasn't until like the last hour, honestly.
Glad to be feeling safer. The closer we got to the canal, the more the conditions improved, and we were quite relieved that the swell died down. Crazy. The current through the Cape Cod Canal is no joke, and you definitely want to time it right so that it's going with you and not against you. It can flow up to 5 knots through there. We are flying. Okay, 2,000 RPM, 8.8. Once inside the canal, there are 3 bridges to go through. A Sagamore Bridge with a fixed height of 135 feet. Our very first bridge! Hopefully she makes it. We're taking the opportunity to eat some soup and make some coffee now that it's chill in here. Oh, we were doing 9 knots at one point. 9 point what? Almost 10 knots. That's fun. Bourne Bridge with a fixed height of 135 feet. And the Cape Cod Railroad Bridge with a height of 135 feet when it is open. And it will remain open unless there is a train coming. However, it is best to monitor channel 13 for updates if the bridge might be closed before entering the canal.
Friendly?
Yeah, there's people over there on that bench. They were wooing us, cheering us on. Probably saw the Canadian flag. We cheered back. We have 4 helicopters. Suspicious. Flying very close to each other. So peaceful. The other side of the canal. We got full sail up. And we're not in any rush. Close hauled. Chilling. Quite relaxing. Except for the VHF. 4.5? That's pretty good. We're just not in a rush. Even tomorrow, we can just do like a leisurely sail if it's not that windy. Lit this morning, the swell, massive. The wind, 25 knots. Like crazy. We had a hard time getting the jib out, and they were like, should we just not do it? We're like, yeah, let's not do it. But then figured it out and managed it, but it was just kind of panic, and we didn't sleep much because of that lobster trap, so we were just on edge a bit. But now this is just so nice.
Getting just a little bit of sun right here.
I know.
It's like the best spot.
He's melting.
Melting in the sun. I might fall asleep. It's hard to say. So today we made a pretty big crossing from Scituate to, where are we again?
Mattapoisett.
Mattapoisett. And you know, in the journey we started off, you know, it was pretty nerve-wracking. We were seeing seas up to about 2 meters sometimes, even though it was only calling for a meter, and about 25 knots out of the north, so it was directly downwind. So it made the beginning, leaving Scituate, really choppy and scary, and it really wasn't until we entered into the Cape Cod Canal that things actually calmed down for us. The canal was sweet. Took us like maybe a little over an hour to get through. We were doing 9 knots going through it with the current. And then once we got out of the canal, we just set up our sails, put on our autopilot, and it was a really relaxing sail. The wind was probably blowing about 10 to 15 knots. You know, at that point we were just exhausted, so it was really nice to set up the sails, you know, trim them well, get on the autopilot and just relax. And pretty much the whole rest of the trip to Mattapoisett was, you know, really nice. And we found this sweet anchorage. Nice community here. There's a lot of sandy, sort of beachy areas around. There are a lot of mooring fields all around, as you can see. But we managed to find a spot that there isn't anything. We're not in the way of anybody, so we're pretty happy. Anyway, stay tuned.
After arriving in Mattapoisett, I cleaned up the remnants of glass from the morning's chaos, and we relaxed quite nicely into the calm anchorage. We went for a walk to get more diesel and settled into the night for a much-needed sleep. Transient boaters must sign in at the harbor master's office. We can make it work. Sorry, bub. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and stay tuned for a new video next Friday as we make our way further south.